Welcome to the Slouch Theory. Oh, Slouch Theory. Slouching. Slouching.
Bruh, what up, dudes, dudettes, brethrens, sisterins? I ran out of I know like ladies and gents, but like I was trying to find like more obscure versions of ladies and gents. But then I quickly ran out of other types. I don't know if I hit them all. If the two that I did say was the max amount that is available to the common knowledge of man in 2021, or I just don't know the rest of that exist, and I just tapped out early. You know, caught me in an arm bar, and my shit had to get tapped out early. Now, I said tapped out early because, shit, damn it, what a conundrum. Fucking. Oh, man, damn, son. Shit. All right, fair. You know what I mean? It happens to the best of us. Sometimes words catch you and you get caught by the words. It could be immaturity. It really could be immaturity. It could be that this situation isn't even really happening, you know? But depending on your immaturity or maturity level, you know, whatever side of the spectrum you want to count it on. I don't know what the fuck I just said, but you know what I just said. You might determine whether or not what just happened, or if it didn't happen. But I'm saying all of this to say this is part 2 of Christian Duran's episode on Slouch Theory podcast. Now, are these introductions odd? Fucking hell yeah, they are. Are they intended to be? Nah, yo, they not. They not even on. You feel what I'm saying? Aha, they not. But it's just it's a play-by-play thing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel a certain way, and then that's how I end up talking, and then I can't really stop that guy. You know, he's just gonna talk the way he talks. You dig? But all right, listen to this though, dudes. This episode, what are we talking about here, huh? Fucking Patrice ONeal, the God MC, Patrice ONeal, one of my idols, on my Mount Rushmore of comedy, the OG, triple OG, Patrice ONeal. Yo, like, he's one of the big reasons I even got into comedy, man. Always been a fan of comedy. I was always a fan of comedy. I was always watching sitcoms and stand-up and whatever. Anytime I heard laughter, I watched it. But then when I saw Patrice, I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even know comedy could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I saw Patrice, it was like, yo. So it could look like this? This is I don't even, my brain couldn't even understand what I was seeing. I must have watched Elephant in the Room the day it came out, because I recorded some of it on my phone and then watched it on my phone after I watched it on Comedy Central, and then tried to find it on YouTube because people put it on YouTube. Trying to see if I could find clips on YouTube. Then after I found that, I think it was either right before that special or right after that special was when I discovered all of the wealth of YouTube Patrice rabbit hole you can go down, like Black Phillip and the O&A, and he was the Wine Epstein, all of the Patrice ONeal. You could just it's 45,000 gajillion hours of Patrice ONeal on YouTube, and I think I watched all of that. You know, the one thing I was watching, you was talking about the special in the pod, me and Chris, but I think I said this in the podcast. Man, I should really listen to it. That I was like, yo, I wanted to see more Patrice footage, stand up, more stuff, because there's mad miscellaneous footage people have, and I want to see the miscellaneous shit too. When Patrice was just roasting somebody on the sidewalk and people start pulling out their phones and shit like that. I know it exists. I know somebody got it. I want to see him roast somebody in the green room. You know what I mean? So that nigga just start crying. That footage is out there somewhere in the world, and I want to see him roast the shit out of somebody until they just leave, man. But whatever, dudes. Do that. Forgot the other colloquialism. What a funky fucking word, huh? But other thing, Kanye. I'm gonna start this by saying this when I start saying it. Kanye West has never made a bad album. Ever. Not one album is a bad album. None of them. None. Okay? And I'm saying it because you know what? Because every time I've said this, not every time, because usually I find, like people find like people. You know what I'm saying? Crackheads usually know where to find another crackhead. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? A Christian knows where to find other Christians. You can find you in most places, huh? Whatever. So I think I don't think I have a close friend of mine that would be like, yo, I disagree. I don't think. But you know what? Maybe I'm fucking wrong. Because probably Phil would say that. I think Phil would tell me, hell no, or Dante. Dante, I don't think that Dante. There's so many. All right, you know what? I take that whole statement back. There's a lot of friends I had that would tell me to fuck off about this, but I don't care. Me and Chris agrees. Kanye West never made a bad album. Fuck y'all if y'all disagree. Fight me. I'll fight you, and I'll take your auntie out on a date after. Fuck off. Kanye never West. Shit. Oh man, start the show. Yeah. So, dude, you're allergic to endorphins. I don't really even know how does one deal with that. Shit. You know what? Maybe.
Like if I run
smoke before you get high.
Smoke before you get high.
No, I'm so high.
That's the highest thing you've ever said.
I'm gonna cut that and I'm gonna use it as a clip because now that's who I am. You should smoke before you get high. So smoke before you work out.
Yeah. You know what you need to do though? You need to run before you work out.
You take like little tincture drops. They got those too. They got so many ways. Yeah.
I used to a lot. I didn't. I can't do it anymore. I think I smoked like a little bit over the summer. I think I had like two hits or something. Mm-hmm. I felt okay, but I wasn't like how I used to be. Like I would smoke and smoke and smoke, but I'm not. I don't have that mentality for it. Like I'm not calm enough to do it. Oh, like I would get crazy paranoid and just be like. Just calling my friends up and be like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
You're not calm enough to smoke.
No, I realized that it's I can't smoke unless like I feel like I'm gonna be able to smoke if I have like $1 million. You know what I mean? Like
okay. The life stressors.
Yeah, because
you're like, yeah.
It makes me think about everything that I'm not doing.
You're trying to procure all of the things for the family and the life. Yeah.
So if it's like video games. I was telling my wife, I was like, I can't really play video games unless I have like money in the bank.
Video games?
Because otherwise I'm just like, fuck.
Especially when you losing. When I'm playing FIFA or 2K and I'm getting my ass whipped, I'm like, wait, I should be chasing my dreams. Why the fuck am I getting my ass beat? And I'm not even, no, I got to turn this off. I got to go.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna write some jokes, and then you're like, but let me beat this motherfucker real quick.
But it's the wildest thing, son, because when you're doing the shit you quote unquote you're supposed to do, you don't really hate it. You don't hate it.
Yeah.
But like it there's a difficulty that comes with that shit, man. Oh man,
I get in my head
whole
about
life
that stuff
thing.
all the time. The anticipation of stuff makes me like,
What is
like
that? You think it's like you have that whole being in the moment type thing?
I guess like even like something I like to do. Like I like being home all the
Yeah.
time. I like hanging out in my house, being with my dog, my wife, and all that.
You was a kid that was inside your room watching anime, fucking with robots.
Right,
I know
exactly.
that nigga. I was doing the same shit. I only went outside to play sports sometimes.
Right. So even now, like when somebody's like, "Oh, you want to do a show?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." All day, I'll be like, oh, "Fuck, I gotta do a show. I gotta do a show." It's like eating at me all day. But when I get up and do the show, it's my favorite thing in the world. But even like the traveling and like just thinking about like getting on the subway at this right time and making sure I'm on time and all this stuff. But then when you're done with it, like I don't think about it at all. Like
I feel you. I kind of have thoughts like that, especially when I have road gigs.
Yeah.
Especially when I have a road gig and I'm like, I gotta. Well, what if I gotta leave early? What if the traffic and the thing and I gotta get gas and where's the place? What if people? And it's just like the more moving parts, the more variables, is like the more stress inducing that moment can be.
Yeah. The anticipation of all.
I badly want to like learn how to manage. You gotta learn how to manage stress. That's what the pandemic taught me. I've been looking at it like that. Like
I think it's chill. Like I think it's like working out though. Like I mean, from anytime I've worked out, like and not like the workout classes, but like if you just work out, you're like if you think about it, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm dreading it all day. Once you do it and once you're in the middle of it, like if I tell myself I'm only gonna run for 10 minutes, I'll probably before the gym, if I'm like, all right, just go run for 5 minutes. And once I'm there, I'm like, well, I'm not going to run for 5 minutes now that I'm here.
You're already on the shit.
Yeah. Run for 30. And then after you do 30 or whatever, you're like, all right, I feel good. Let me go on with my day. And then afterwards, you don't even think about it. You're just like, there's a lot of mental things you can fuck yourself up with. That's the anticipation. You just got to basically like have a positive attitude about the outcome rather than like worrying about doing something, which is like what fucks me up day to day of just like even writing. Like sometimes I'll just be like, fuck, what if I don't come up with anything? It's like if you just write anything, it doesn't matter. Not even, and sometimes it doesn't, but like, you know, if you just write something, at least you did it. And then maybe next time it'll be a little bit easier.
But even in the concept of sometimes it doesn't, I feel like it still does because, all right, two ways of looking at it. One, it's like that old 10,000 number, like how many philosophies have the number 10,000 as this like indicator of all right, now you reach the level for success. Even in video games sometimes or anime, you'll see that the highest power level is 10,000 or some shit, right?
Right.
So there's like a significance globally, culturally throughout every creed and ethnicity of the 10,000th number. So like, all right, say you have to get that repetition in order to hit that level. If I write this joke and it's number 9,890, you know what I'm saying? That shit is out now.
Right.
I did it. I'm closer. So even if it wasn't whatever the fuck, I checked it off.
Yeah.
I'm in the number game. I'm moving. So it's like that way. And then also the idea of, all right, you wrote the joke, it's bad. But the fact that you know it's bad, you just got better. Because you looked at what the fuck is wrong with it. You know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like your ability to see what's going on got better. It might spark another thought.
Yeah.
You fuck around, you writing jokes way later, you come back to that.
And next time you'll be quicker because now you know what you like. You know, you have a better concept of what you like and what you don't like once you start like creating that definition, but just by doing it. But I would always say it's like if you bomb, if you're paying attention, it's like every time you bomb, you just ran out of a new way to bomb. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's dope. I like that.
Like it's just all right. I got one bomb out of the way. I'm running out of bombs. I mean, you never run out, but like you're getting less and less.
Or you kind of reach a level where you can run out of types.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're like, it's back to video games. Like you fucking you playing a first person shooter, and they always have usually 2 to 3 types of throwables.
Mm-hmm.
and you have your bombs, your frag grenades, your Simtex, and you'll have 3 of each.
Yeah.
But you run out of each. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, all right, I bombed this way. I'm fresh out of these types, nigga. I'm never doing this again. I'm not running this one back.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go down that corridor
That's
again.
the last edition of this
landmines.
bitch today. Like, for real. So it still works out that way, I feel like.
I wish, like, going off that video game thing, like sometimes I would always have this fantasy of like, man, I wish you could have like, you could figure out like XP points. You know what I mean? In comedy, I wish there was like a ranking so you could sometimes see where like, oh shit, I'm at level 3.144. I just need to get like 10 more mics to get to level up.
Because it makes the goal, since you can see it, it looks more attainable.
Yeah.
So like that's the one thing I'll attribute to the watches and the Fitbits and the Fit whatever the shit machine, the wearable technology, is that it helps gamify parts of life.
Right.
Where you can turn, all right, today I literally watched the watch say I've logged this many miles. Now I have a goal to watch the watch say I logged a different number of miles.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
one of the smartest things I ever saw was Nico White. I was looking at it. He was just like at a show, and I just kind of like looked over my shoulder, and he's jotting down in his book or whatever, and he had all the sets he had done and how much time he had done on those sets, and it's just all listed out for like months and months. So I'm like, oh, that's so smart, because he's just keeping track of like his 10,000 hours, you know?
Yeah, neat. But that's a very Nico thing. There's a certain tree that his brain chemistry belongs to, where that's how that talent works, where they're categorical. They fucking beep boop. They compute different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
They hear something, it goes straight into a file and they lodge that bitch over. It's just like Chris Rock is, I imagine, thousands of yellow pads just with these arrows and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very meticulous in their style versus like somebody like a Bill Burr who will like, he writes to the point where he can find a gear. And then as soon as he can he finds the words to lead him into the gear. And then he finds the gear and fucking sits down in that bitch. And we out.
That's right.
It's just, got it. Fucking, can you believe? So like, I feel like I might be closer to that tree.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Patrices and then I try to like learn how to write also from like inspiration of other types. Yeah. But I feel that shit where like, it's really about how your brain chemistry works. And then you figure out how to like replicate the successful moments.
Yeah.
Or how your shit is.
Did you see the Patrice documentary?
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't even know how to find it. I didn't see it on Comedy Central the night of, but I don't know
on
where to look
Mizzy
for
end?
it. All right.
On the Mizzy?
I haven't looked yet. I haven't had a chance to just sit down and watch it, but so it was good.
Yeah, Patrice, the one thing was like I feel like they could have I actually wanted it to be longer.
It's only one episode or like one.
I think it's 1 hour and maybe I think it's one episode. I feel like I just thought like I want to see more shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he got mad hours of radio stuff, mad hours of like all those comedy sets, because we are in the business, so you know how many tapes of you exist. So imagine his, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, really.
So shit like that is what I wanted. Like, as just being a super fucking fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this shit should be the length of a Scorsese movie, nigga. Like,
it's the Irishman.
Make believe this is the Irishman. Give me 3 hours, nigga. Where? Show me this nigga in high school. All that. And then also, like Dante was saying, like how there's like more facets of his life that could have been included too, but there's limitations to shit. I don't know.
Of course, yeah.
There's always some extra shit you don't hear behind the scenes.
Did they touch on the Opie and Anthony stuff? Did they play any of those clips?
Nah, Opie and Anthony came up, and then it led towards talking about, I think, if I remember right, where they were talking about when he would Black Phillip, where he would start to like help people with their relationships, but he was doing it through their show at first.
Yeah.
He was doing it on Opie and Anthony's show, basically with Opie and Anthony, like being like, Ant, your life, fix your bitches, man. Like he was on the show talking to him, telling him that shit.
I used to love that so much. One thing that made me like when I listen to the old Opie and Anthony stuff now with him talking about, like, it's not even like the relationship stuff or the race stuff that I love the most. The stuff that I love the most and I miss the most about him is just him talking about movies is the best. Like just him breaking out. Like he broke down Independence Day in a way where he's like, Will Smith knocked out like when he punches the alien, he goes, welcome to Earth. He goes, he didn't knock the alien out. He knocked out his outfit. And I'm like, I saw that movie a million times. That never hit me. And it just
would never say it that way.
It just made me sad because I was just like, dude, like he loved Quentin Tarantino movies. I was like, like he didn't get to see Django.
Yo,
like like he would have. If he didn't love Django, he would have had the greatest perspective on Django Unchained. Like he's just he just loved Rambo movies and Jason. He knew all the Jason movies.
When he would talk about crazy movies and then conspiracies.
Yeah. He broke them down.
Aliens and all kind of 9/11, all kind of shit, Al Qaeda, everything.
When he broke down the Bin Laden thing about like, he's like, if I told you that we got the most evil person who's ever been, like second to Hitler, he's like, if you were just a person who didn't know about this guy, you're like, we got him. Like he killed 3,000 people. Oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, we finally got him. Cool. What'd you do with the body? Threw it in the water. Like that doesn't sound fishy to you. Like he turned me, like that's my favorite thing about comedians. Like my favorite comedians can change your mind about stuff.
Yes.
I don't care if it's wrong or whatever, but like if you can change my mind, like when I first heard, I was religious as fuck. So when George Carlin did the 10 Commandments bit, I was like scared. I was like, oh shit, like he's kind of right.
You felt a little bit of your religion leaving as the joke was finishing?
Because I was like, I can't argue. But it's true because like my favorite comedian, I mean, Chappelle like excluded, like all my favorite comedians like scared me a little bit. Like when I heard Chris Rock bring the pain, I was like, this is crazy. I was like,
oh shit,
I'm a little scared of this guy. I don't know what to think. And now he's like, wow. That's one of the greatest pieces of comedy ever because it changed my perception. Like even Louis, like when I first heard him talk about his kids, I was like, yo, what is it? Like that's fucked up, man. You shouldn't talk about Bernie Mac going like, this kid's a fucking yeah,
little bitch ass.
He's like, I want some milk and cookies. I was like, you shouldn't talk about your kid like that. That's so fucked up. Funny. And then you realize like the magic of like and what they're saying and like where they're going, and you're like, God damn, that's a great skill. And like Patrice, man, he had the best. Like my favorite bit of his is, I think it's on Mr. P, where he's talking about Black people should be exempt from federal income tax. But the way he does it is like he's leading you on this thing. He's just making this case. He's like, Black people have been slaves. And he's like, so we've already been slaves. We've been double slaves. And federal income tax is slavery. Therefore, but it's like a minute long setup. And I'm like, I love a long setup to an amazing
for real,
punchline.
that's something that stood out for Patrice when I was watching the documentary. I was looking at like yo, he doesn't mind truly taking his time.
Yeah.
He's walking. If it was visually and the joke's the world, he's walking through and touching the flowers and shit. Like he's taking his sweet fucking time, yo.
But he was talking about that on Opie and Anthony one time where he's like, I like to tell young comics, like, you don't have to be killing all the time. He's like, you can, and it's like what Godfrey said about Bernie Mac. He's like, just be motherfucking interesting.
Yeah.
Just be interesting. And I'm like, man, I think that's the most valuable thing. Just be interesting. People will give you a lot of leeway if you're interesting.
That's true.
One of the things I used to do, I would start with that, like hold music, but it was like kind of a long setup, but it was a good punchline. It would take like 30 seconds. I would start with that because if you start with something slow and then you pay it off and you pay it off big, the rest of the set is yours because they go, oh, this dude already established that. Like if I just pay attention, it'll be worth my while.
It'll be worth paying attention. That's dope.
But he was the best. He was the best at that.
That's dope. The one thing like I was hearing when Andrew Schultz was speaking about him on his shit, it was saying that he had this thing about Patrice would he's not only not rushing through anything,
Mm-hmm.
he's like showing you a new perspective, and he's operating from feeling.
Yeah.
Like Patrice is telling you how he's feeling right now,
Right.
that day. Like you're gonna get you getting the actual emotion. If the person is angry, you're gonna actually feel it through the words. If they're full of joy, feel like a kid, you're gonna hear it. It's always straight down, like feeling based, and that shit is amazing.
One of my favorite things about him was he could articulate himself without having the vocabulary to articulate himself. So he would say stuff like, sometimes you can be you and not be you. And like, that doesn't really make sense, but what he starts working to what he's trying to say. And then he it clicks and you totally get what he's saying. I wish I had a better example.
And that same one, what's the way to say it, quote unquote?
Like, I think what he's I'm trying to think of what it is. I need an example. I can't.
Because the thing is, what I'm leading with, I don't believe it's like the lack of the vocabulary. I believe he's intentionally modifying it so it's digestible for the common brain.
Right. No.
So it's like, even you can be you and not be you.
Yeah.
You are yourself without knowledge of self.
Yeah.
You can be Crisitian Duran and not know who the fuck you actually. We all can do that to ourselves. So there's many ways to be oneself and not of oneself. Like that shit. The nigga's prophetic.
I know. No, I know what you. But it was mostly on like O&A where he would do that. Like he would try to find the word.
That's like he's Confucius.
Yeah. He's trying to find the words of like what he's trying to say, but he would always get there. Like he would always he would work it out to the point where and break it down.
I genuinely believe
with metaphors.
He could decide to speak differently if he wanted to.
Right.
If he wanted to say that shit in concise 3 sentences, doop, 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 done. He would easily do that. But he understands how to fucking create a show, nigga. How to he knows if he goes, he fucking makes the show just happen.
Yeah.
I think I feel like these motherfuckers be operating on levels where it's like, I'm gonna let you think. I'm making you think what you think right now.
Right. Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers they're genius. They geniuses, man. They don't be giving people fucking credit. Kanye a genius. I don't care. This don't even got nothing to do with Kanye, but Kanye a genius.
He's I don't know if I could ever not
fucking genius. Because if y'all be calling Walt Disney genius, be calling Pablo, every white man from 19 Kanye West, a motherfucking genius. And not only him, many more niggas from the hood, geniuses. It's just that they refuse to give the credit. It's even hard to view it. They can't even view him.
Yeah.
Can't even sing him right.
I don't know if I'll ever not be a Kanye fan. Like Kanye to me is like, I was thinking about it today. I was like, he's like a cousin. You know what I mean? Like you might look at your cousin and be like, man, they fucked up here. And they got a girl pregnant by somebody else over here. They're fucking up over here. But at the end of the day, it's my cousin, dude. It's my cousin, dude. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna turn my back on my cousin, right? So he's like that. He can do no wrong. And someone was trying to tell me that Jesus is King is a bad album. I was like, I don't think it's bad.
I'm of the group that thinks Kanye has never made a bad album.
I agree.
I stand by that against anyone.
There's ones I like more.
Never made one. There's some albums that I like more than other albums, but I like every single fucking album.
Dude, the next one's gonna be crazy.
If somebody was like, I have every one he has in a thing, I will just buy it. Every album. It's like this. If you have the streaming services, you go to the artist and you search, and then it has the option at the artist top to just be like add.
Yeah.
Kanye's one of them.
Yeah,
I go to a Kanye fucking ad. I don't gotta think and be like, I gotta pick certain songs. And sometimes there's a lot of albums from artists where it's 8 tracks on that, but 3 of them shits, you gotta talk to somebody saying, hey, fuck happened over here? Like, the 3 of them songs will make you go, somebody gotta explain this to me. You know what I mean? So Kanye ain't one of them niggas, man. Every album, I'm taking it.
Yeah. His next one's gonna be amazing because then he's gonna start talking about Kim for real. Unless he gets like an NDA, he's gonna start talking about that family. I don't know. He's gonna have some bars.
I just hope niggas learn, man. Y'all better stop thinking shit's sweet because it's of another color or another culture. Just because something is unfamiliar, don't make it great.
You think they fucked his head up, or you think he was like that?
I think there's a thing like, all right, I'm not uber famous and all of this shit where I'm like so far removed from a certain reality that I can have my brain fuck with, because if your perspective changes so much, or to the point where people around you don't even give you a little bit of the, not even the truth, quote unquote, but like just to say like, if a nigga know he could get hit in the face, that makes him behave a certain way in life.
Sure, yeah.
Anytime a person knows, this is why I think women should really start hauling off on each other, because women do not act like they know they could get hit in the fucking mouth. And I think women need to start beating each other's ass. I don't see enough women just deck a bitch. I need to see Trisha deck the shit out of Stacey. You heard the shit Stacey just said to you? Deck that bitch.
Instead,
it needs to happen, bro. When people know for a fact, if I say these crazy ass words or something, or if I just do some dickhead shit to somebody, that's the whole reason we got talking about Chappelle. That's the reason we got the shit with the Chappelle show, the Rick James bitch and all of that.
Yeah.
Is because Rick James was a person of high stature. And Charlie Murphy is a nigga that's fresh from the hood going, nigga, I don't care or know. I don't give a fuck who you are, nigga. I'll straighten your shit out right here.
Right.
And if Charlie wasn't that, we wouldn't have had those moments, because he would have got smacked and been like, oh my God, I got smacked by Rick James. And then went home. That's the end of the story. But Charlie said, here's some karate for your ass, nigga, and kicked the dog shit out of him. And now we got magic.
He had to correct him.
Come on, son. Everybody need that. So I feel like if Kanye had some of that around, there was this video of Kanye running into like some, instead the caption said these like dudes that he grew up with. And you can see him like giving that like a certain, it's a nigga, my nigga type of dap where, you know, where you gotta stomp on the floor and shit. You gotta, nigga. One of those types of daps.
Right. Yeah.
If he got those more frequently, had that shit around him more, I bet you certain moments wouldn't have went the way they went. Because usually they go that way when they come in contact with white people. George Bush don't care about black people. They stole the Grammys from Beyonce with Taylor Swift. They Kim Kardashian, the Louis Vuitton shit, and Nike fucking trying to hold his deals and all kind of crazy shit and steal pastel. And every time the nigga's being called crazy, it's because he's dealing with white supremacy. Like the fuck, like Chris Rock said, the nigga said, you don't really notice and feel the racism until you start trying to do shit.
Right. Yeah.
Until you start trying to be something. Until your ignorant nigga ass start thinking you should have a dream and aspire to shit. Why the fuck you think you should eat arugula, nigga? Why the fuck you aspire to have sprouts in your fridge? How dare you? The second you start thinking like that is when you run into shit.
Yeah.
So whoever want to be like Kanye crazy, fuck you. You don't know American history.
Yeah, and I also think people, like white people, don't like an unhumble black dude. That's like they hate it the most. That's like the thing they hate the most.
Bro, I've come to the realization this year, because I've hit a little different level in my career, and I've been seeing small changes, and I'm talking to new people, and I'm going to new parties and shit, and I realize that I'm in these places. I'm like, y'all would have crossed the street if I wasn't Andre D. Thompson.
Yeah.
Y'all would, if I don't put a what you call it, like a wait staff uniform on.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time they feel comfortable around big black man is if he has a name tag, so they understand the purpose for his big blackness.
Right.
It's to move shit. You know what I mean? To serve things. So I understand how you use your big blackness because you have on a workman's uniform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they could subdue and all kind of shit. But if I just got on this hoodie, my managers would run from me.
Right.
I could get my own managers to be afraid of me. And that's the wild shit. Because I'm not no street nigga. And still I can experience the life of one in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Now that's wild.
Yeah. And it bothers me a lot because like white people pretend that's not the thing, but
with the nervous laughter.
But it's like, and then one of the worst things that ever happened was that like, not the worst thing that ever happened, but like, it's a bad precedent that like black people said, like, just don't use the N-word anymore. Just don't. Because then white people were like, well, what's going to be our thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like white people desperately want to control racism or like they hate that there's like the word that they can't say. So they're like, all right, well now you can't say the R word. You can't say the new F word. You can't say the, and it's like, can you just let black people have one, like just something that you can't have? Just one thing. Because I always say it's like when white people go like, oh, why they don't do this much anymore, but like when white people are like, why can't we use it? Why can't we say? It's like, because you were asked not to. That's it. It's not even, it's just polite. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's punching the back of your seat and you go, hey, can you stop? And you go, why? You're like, look, I might have to
that
hit
right
you.
then and there, my brain can't help but go, you're stupid. Like for real, diagnosis wise, back in the day when they used to write moron on the diagnosis paper, like you are for real, you fucking finished. Because if I gotta explain to you, keep it at hitting the seat, not even talking about race. Yeah, keep it at hitting the seat. If you hit a seat, and I gotta explain to you what happens when one hits a seat that is occupied by a person. Yeah, you're finished as a being. Like if that, like I always say this, bro, when I'm driving, because I'm a fucking great driver. I've been moving cars, doing this shit since I was 12. Nigga,
been driving trucks.
Yeah, I drive. Like I've been in cars when niggas drifting and I'm 12. Like this is what my family come from, cars. We drive. So when I'm on the road and shit, it's very easy for me to be like, ugh, I'm with these peasants. Because people, when I watch somebody struggle with a left turn, I'm like, life's much harder than that. Yeah. Life get way more complicated than a left turn, my nigga. You can't handle merging. The fuck you gonna do when tax season come? Like what? Like there's certain things where like if I have to explain this part to you, you're starting at a bad level. So if a white person goes, I do not understand the context of why one would be that's of African descent angry when the usage of nigger comes up. It's just like, well, there's no reason for us to speak. Say whatever you would like to say, but there's no reason for us to be in the same space because you have that question in your mind and you truly do not have an answer for it. Yeah. So you're operating at a different level. So like, it's just like if it has nothing to do with race. This is intelligence. I remember I ran into a nigga that I went to high school with back in the day on the Ave. And I ran into him like, oh shit, what up? Dapped him up and everything. And when I dapped him up, so I'm like, yo, son, how you been, boy? He's like, what you up to? I'm like, man, I'm coming from the city. I'm doing open mics and shit. And then I had my camera and whatever. I'm like, how you been, bro? And then he lifts up his sweater and showed me the piece. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, nigga, you know how it is. And then shows me the piece. And I'm like, and I dapped him up immediately. I'm like, yo, but my nigga, I gotta run because the thing is, we are operating on two completely different types of levels and ideas and styles of living and everything. So whether I know we brothers, we the same color, but we not operating the same. You gonna cost me something.
Right.
Go.
Yeah.
So even without the color lines, if there's a Caucasian person, a white person, I heard Caucasian is not a real place, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Don't give a fuck. You know what I said. You know what I mean when I say Caucasian. Mm-hmm. If a white person goes, I do not understand why a black person doesn't like the word nigger, then it's like, okay, buddy, say what you got to say. All good.
I'll see you later.
Fine.
Yeah.
But we just don't need to interact. It's all good. Because you're not operating at the level where we need to be talking.
And it's not your job to educate.
Yeah, I'm not wasting my time. If that question ever arises, just like it's saying, why does 1 + 1 = 2? Well, you know what, buddy? I ain't got nothing for you. Why is water wet? Well, chief, I ain't your guy.
Go Wikipedia that and then
you know
figure
what I'm
it
saying?
out.
You asking types of questions that they ain't no answers to from as far as I can see. I can't do it for you, buddy. Can't handle it. Certain people are like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris, I think we solved a lot of issues today.
we said it all, man.
I think we fixed every problem. We told people how to get in shape.
Yep. How not to get your ass beat.
How to not get fucked up. Different people's ideas. We figured it all out, son.
Yeah. Get some thermal spark.
Got supplementation. We got supplement regimens in this bitch.
I'm gonna work out for real.
Chris, what would you like to tell the people? Anything you would like to promote? Questions? Say, dude, the floor is yours, man. I don't care if this take 30 minutes. Do what you want to say.
Go to ChristianDuranComedy.com for everything that I'm doing, all my sketches, animation, everything you want to see. My album King Latifah is on Spotify and all streaming services: Google Play, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. If I didn't already say it, so check that out. And that's it, man. I'm good.
Hell yeah!
Thank you for having me.
With him, yo. Hell yeah, bro. Shit, come back if you want to. If you like, for real, if you like, yo, I wanted it to be like bong bong, biggity bong bong, and there's some shit you wanted to say,
I got a lot on my mind.
Tell me, and I'd be like, yo, I'll fire this shit up, set this shit up. We can run it again.
And we gotta have you
again, bro.
We gotta have you on our podcast, Oh Dear, with me, Brett, and Nick Whitmer.
Hell yeah, I'm down. Tell me the date. I'm firing up the booters, and all that shit. I'm with it. Let's get it.
Sounds good.
Yo, Andre D. Thompson, Christian Duran, Slouch Theory Podcast. Appreciate you guys. Later.
Peace.
Where's the recording button?
That's always the difficult part.